Hello, and welcome back to the Al Chappy Show. Well, I shouldn't say welcome back. This is the inaugural stream for the Al Chappy Show. I'm your host, Dylan. For those that don't know me, I have been making videos and things like that, but I did want to make a live stream because we needed to do a practice stream ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow is free agency. And it's going to be, for the next few days, it's going to be super busy. So I will try to cover most of that live during that period. So for those that don't know, let me move this here. Free agency begins tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock UK time. Obviously, we've seen some signings already, potential signings, but they're not official until 12 o'clock tomorrow, as in that's when it begins. And Wednesday, 11th of March at 4 p.m. is when all deals are become official. So it's going to be bonkers. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be all over the place, basically. And tomorrow, especially, we're going to hear about most of the signings again, about how they're signing and stuff like that. So if you're on Twitter or any of those social media accounts, it's going to be full on busy. So I wanted to do something to keep everything in one place. Hence why I'm doing this stream today. It gives me an opportunity as well to practice, because I haven't done one on this platform at all, and I haven't done one of these for ages. So here we go. I wanted to start discussing some things. So I'll say now, bear with me if I do get something wrong here. This, as I say, is a test, and we'll see what happens. Before I say anything, if you're on replay or anything, please make sure you like the stream. That would really be appreciated. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel, and that means you can chat. So please say something in chat, and we will converse. But yes, here we are. Let me put this up here once I grab it here. I'm going to take that down. I'll put this on. So this is from PFF. They've made a list of everything, every team who's been released, who's been signed, and all those things, who's been retained and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a good idea before tomorrow to actually go through some of these just to see what the landscape actually looks like, which I think is important. So here we go. We start off with the Arizona Cardinals. So Arizona Cardinals as well, they did make some moves today where they re-signed, or revised, I should say, the contracts for running back James Conner and cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting. And I'll be able to go through that in a little bit as we look at that. So there'll be more and more of those. You can see your teams now start to work out contracts for some potential free agents as we go along. I know the Broncos have re-signed some players, and obviously the Eagles have recently as well. So yeah, but before we go into that, we'll see some of these, because they may capture who has been resigned and who's been released and stuff like that. Here we go, the first commenter of the inaugural stream. Here he is, Dave, Boston Labour's Union. Hey, Dylan, good to see you, pal. Been following past couple of days, good stuff. But thank you, Dave, and thank you for your comments on the videos. I do really appreciate them. I enjoy hearing everyone's views, so I appreciate you, pal. Thank you very much, my friend. And for those that don't know, Dave is in Boston, but he is a Chicago Bears fan. So for his sins, he has been a lifelong Bears fan. So welcome, Dave. Nice to see you, buddy. So we start off with the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, we all know that Kyler Murray has been released. All signs now point towards Kyler Murray going to the Vikings. The Pat McAfee show did announce the other day that he wants to go to the Vikings or the Colts. But the more we see on Twitter, and I know that Busting with the Boys, they put out a tweet today as well confirming that everybody thinks that he's going to the Vikings, which is a surprise. I'm not sure how much of a fit he is there. Obviously, he's still a good player, so it's no surprise. It's just obviously he's a little bit different to Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones and all them. So we'll see. They've also released Dalvin Tomlinson, Akeem Davis, Gaither, and Bilal Nichols. Atlanta Falcons, obviously, Kevin Stefanski's coming in. Obviously, got a new regime there. Matt Ryan heading up the Atlanta Falcons. They have franchise tagged Kyle Pitts, which I think makes a lot of sense, purely because I believe they don't know what they've got in Kyle Pitts. He did have an extremely good season last season. So it is more sensible, I think, to sign him to a one-year deal to see if you want to give him a big contract or not. As I say, it's a new regime, so they need to work out whether he is a good fit or not. And that will cost them $15.04 million. They have released wide receiver Darnell Mooney, who will have a market. Some teams will be looking to sign him. Baltimore Ravens, now obviously we know Matt Crosby has been traded there. That was big news. So now the Ravens give up their 14th pick and the 2027 first round pick to the Raiders. I think this is pretty much a win-win for them. I know Max Crosby is very, very happy to now be playing for the Baltimore Ravens. So I believe that Baltimore Ravens are still $10 million over the cap. So all points point towards Lamar Jackson restructuring his contract and signing an extension. I believe that is the rumor out there. So we'll have to see with that. There's no other releases, departures there, but obviously we do know that they have the center Linderbaum. He is obviously a free agent, so he'll be somebody I don't think they will re-sign, because how can they afford Max Crosby, Linderbaum, Lamar Jackson? There's a lot of money going out, so we'll have to see with that. Buffalo Bills obviously traded for wide receiver DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears, from Dave, Boston Labor's Union's team. They got it was a good deal. I don't remember everything, but I think that they gave up a they got a second round pick back, and they had to give a fifth round pick or something like that. I don't 100% remember, but I think that's a good move for the Bills. That gives Josh Allen a weapon that is very much needed for him. And they've re-signed center Connor McGovern, which again I think is actually a really good signing, a very solid signing. I think that he will add a lot to that O-line, I believe. And we've got Taron Johnson, Curtis Samuel, and Taylor Rapp have left. Again, I think they will have markets out, especially Curtis Samuel. See where he ends up. Carolina Panthers have not done anything yet. They've been very quiet, but again, watch this space with them. And here you go. You got Chicago Bears, who did get the Patriots center Garrett Bradbury. That was a very good move for them, I think. I think they probably looked at Tyler Linderbaum and thought, wow, that's a lot of money. So let's get somebody experienced like Garrett Bradbury, which I think is, again, a win-win for both the Patriots and Bradbury. Patriots can kick inside Wilson to center and maybe pick up a left guard, a more experienced left guard that can maybe help Will Campbell ready for next season. And Garrett Bradbury with their centre, Drew Dalman, retiring. They needed somebody in place. Drew Dalman did retire. He was a Pro Bowler last year and has retired this off-season. He was 27 years old, I believe. Obviously, they've traded DJ Moore, and Tremaine Edmonds also has been released. And there's a few inklings towards Tremaine Edmonds going to the Tennessee Titans. I know that Rob Saleh has spoken very highly of Tremaine in the past. So some people do believe that he might be going there, but watch this space. Cincinnati Bengals, I mean, you just don't know what Cincinnati Bengals do. I mean, I really don't know, but they have re-signed Dalton Risner. I believe they're keeping the same O-line as last year, but the Bengals, I don't know. I feel sorry for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and everyone there. they're not my favorite ownership group, shall we say. Cleveland Browns, well, obviously a lot of change in the Cleveland Browns. There's a lot of thought that now will have Shedeur Sanders will be the number one QB in the upcoming season, even though that Deshaun Watson is back and they are paying. Has there ever been a bigger bust than Deshaun Watson? There might be some that compete with it, but he's got to be up there with the biggest busts since he was traded from the Houston Texans for, was it first round picks and all that money. It was a massive haul. He is available this year to come back, but I think they're going to stick with Shedeur Sanders, and I don't blame them. Dillon Gabriel probably will be backup, or maybe he will be either traded or released in the summer. I don't know, but I think they are going to move with Shedeur. He did show glimpses last season that he could be QB1, and I think, good luck to him. He had a lot of bad press last year in the draft process. People saying that he interviewed badly, he was arrogant and stuff like that. But I think the way he handled himself last season was perfect. He was QB3 for most of the season, and he ended up as QB1. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well. He gets a lot of stick, and yeah, good luck to him. Obviously, they traded for, and from the Houston Texans, Tytus Howard, and they extended him, so he's now tied in there for 3 years, $63 million. And they released Lucas. Dallas Cowboys, they have franchise tagged George Pickens. And that's 1 year, $27.3 million. Obviously, they want to work out a contract with him. I really don't know how they do it, because CeeDee Lamb is one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league already. Dak Prescott is one of the highest QBs being paid in the league already. So adding George Pickens to that, I don't know. But at least they got a year buffer to work something out. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do work out a contract with them during the summer. Denver Broncos, they're re-signing some people right this minute. They have tendered cornerback Jaquan McMillan. They've extended their guard Alex Palkowski, I say that wrong, and then re-signed Justin Stand. I think they will be they're working on re-signing a lot of their players. I think they like the players they have, and they want to re-sign as much as possible. Detroit Lions, here they go. You have Juice Scruggs ended up there because that was part of the deal with the Houston Texans that saw running back David Montgomery go to the Texans, and Juice Scruggs was part of that. Juice Scruggs is was a guard with the Houston Texans, so he will add some beef to that O-line, and he will be a backup on that O-line. But you had Dan Skipper, who retired. He's not on this list, but he did retire this off-season with the Lions, and he's now coaching. He's an offense coach with the Lions. So I presume Juice has come in to take over, from Dan Skipper. They released Taylor Decker, that was a little bit of a surprise. I think most people thought that was a bit surprising. He is their left tackle, and I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming. So I'm not sure where he's going to end up, but that was a little bit of a shock for me, this release. I was not surprised about Graham Glasgow being released, but he's still got some gas left in there when he go back to the Broncos, or where does he end up? He's a solid, he can play guard, he can play center, he's solid, so he'd be a good pickup for some teams. Green Bay Packers, they traded for Zaire Franklin from the Colts, and then they also sent, as part of that deal, Colby Wooden over to the Colts, and then they've extended Sean Ryan there to, that's 3 years, $33 million. But I think there's more work to be done there, so watch this space with the Green Bay Packers, I believe. Houston Texans, they've been fairly active. They've probably been the most active so far. They traded for David Montgomery, which we just spoke about. They extended Danielle Hunter, which was a big move and a very important move, I think. 1 year, 40.1 million. He's an asset for that team. So I believe that was a good move by them and a much needed move, I think. And it's a 1 year contract to see if they can work something out for the future, maybe. I don't know. But that was an important move, I think, for them. Dalton Schultz, he's also been extended 1 year, 12.6 million, and Trent Brown was re-signed 1 year up to 7 million with incentives and stuff like that. And obviously we discussed that they traded Titus Howard, and then they also released Joe Mixon. And obviously Joe will maybe have a little bit of a market, not that as much as he obviously once did when he was with the Bengals, but again, watch his space. He's had a lot of injuries, and whether he wants to or whether he will make a comeback, we'll see. Colts have got a massive season ahead of them. Obviously, we know that Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard, they pretty much been warned that this is it. And I think that is true more for Chris Ballard. He's been there probably, I believe, around 10 years now, and they still haven't got a quarterback. Not a proper one, do you know what I mean? So that's why they had to transition tag Daniel Jones. He's getting 37.83 million. They are just gambling on this one. They do not believe a team will offer him a full-on contract. So if a team, just to explain, if a team does, like say the Vikings, for instance, offer him a 3-year contract, average of 40 million a year, 120 million basically, then of course are able to match that. They have right of refusal essentially. So I think it's a sensible move. I was a bit shocked in the moment, but I think it's a sensible move to see what he can get out there. Maybe he's asking for a lot of money, and the Colts are like, we're not going to pay you that. So go out there, see what you can get, and if we can match it, we'll re-sign you. If we can't, good luck to you. So I don't know, and they must be a little bit like they got Riley Leonard, and maybe they do like him, so they maybe think, you know what, it's worth the risk. And there are lots of QBs on the market, so maybe, and we know that Kyler Murray is one of the people that has stated that he wants to join the Colts or the Vikings. So I don't know. It's worth the risk, I think, to see what is out there. If a team wants to pay him 50+ million a year, then good luck to them. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see. And obviously, we talked about Colby Wooden and that trade with Zaire Franklin. Jacksonville Jaguars, no additions, retentions, no releases, departures. Obviously, the big one for them is their running back Travis Etienne. So see what happens to him this offseason. There's some talk that he might end up in somewhere like Kansas City with the Chiefs, but watch this space, I think, with him. I think he's probably the second best running back in free agencies, but we'll go through all that in a second now. And then we got Kansas City Chiefs. They've traded out Trent McDuffie to the Rams, obviously. A big haul there. They now also have the 29th pick in this year's draft. So they have pick number 9 and pick 29 this year after trading away Trent McDuffie. And also they have other, I think for me, I think that the Chiefs got, if you're looking at who the winner of this is, I don't think there's a loser in that trade, but I prefer the Chiefs side, if I'm being honest. I was surprised that the Rams did it because there's a lot of top-notch or top-tier cornerbacks in this year's draft, but they wanted Trent McDuffie, and he is a proven winner, so I don't also blame them for doing that. And they released Jawan Taylor. Raiders, obviously, everyone's looking at the Raiders this year. They have the highest cap right now as well after releasing Max Crosby. And they traded Max Crosby. They released Geno Smith. There's talks now that the New York Jets, want Geno Smith. He is the favorite to be signed there. So again, watch this space. I think the Raiders have to pay like $50 million for him. 1 season, one and done. Pete Carroll brought him in, and then obviously Carroll's gone, Gino's gone. There's a lot of talk about the Reds bringing in a veteran to go with Fernando Mendoza. Obviously, they don't believe that Gino is the right guy for that. Maybe he doesn't have the personality where he could go from starter to becoming a backup and be in that room. Potentially, they don't believe he is that kind of guy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. The Chargers, obviously, they've re-signed. Big news: re-signed Khalil Mack. So he's now going to be in the league for 13 years. He's been with Chicago Bears for 4 years, the Raiders for 4 years, and with the Chargers for 4 years. But after this season, that will turn into 5 years. He's still a great player, and 80 million sounds like a bit of a good price for him. And Tyler Bayards, I don't know how you say that. 3 years, 30 million. He was released by Washington, and yeah, again, great signing for them. They are looking to bulk up their O-line again. Obviously, they're going to have Joe Alt back. They're going to have Rashawn Slater back. But they need to bolster the guard positions as well. And now they have a new center in Tyler. Obviously, they have released Mekhi Becton, Super Bowl winning, shall I say, Becton from the Eagles. And obviously, he originally was with the Jets. They have released him, so that's why they need to bolster up that O-line. Zion is back as well. Obviously, he's still playing there, but they need to bulk it up for Justin Herbert this season. Also, they released Will Disley as well. Will Disley, sorry. The Rams obviously traded. We just spoke about Trent McDuffie. They re-signed safety Cameron Curl, and then they had some retirements with Rob Havenstein, and who's a tackle, and also cornerback Darius Williams. So it is likely that the Rams will look for a tackle in the draft at some point. I think they should and possibly will look for a tackle at pick 13, even though most people have them taking a wide receiver at that position. So yeah, we'll see. Miami Dolphins, no additions, retentions there. Releases include Tyreek Hill. Where will he end up? I'm not sure. Bradley Chubb, I think he's still got a little bit of an engine in there. I think there is a market out there for him. Low cost edge rusher and an experienced one with that. Used to be the Broncos, went to Miami. Yeah, he's had an okay career. He's the cousin of Nick Chubb, which they got drafted in the same draft year. Then you got Jason Sanders, a kicker. He's been released, and Alec Ingold, fullback, and then obviously Liam Eichenberg has been released as well, which I was surprised with Eichenberg, if I'm being honest. So I think he'll be on many teams' lists. Vikings retired Ryan Kelly. God bless Ryan Kelly. Injuries have he suffered with a lot of injuries, so I wish him all the best in retirement. He was a great player. Injuries just got him in the end. He was fantastic with the Colts. Got paid with the Vikings, but obviously injury ruined the rest of his career. So he's finished and probably thinks, well, I want to retire now, whilst I can still walk and things like that, because he's had a lot of injuries. And also they released Jonathan Allen as well. So watch this space for him as well. New England Patriots extended Tommy DeVito, QB. Well, I think it'd be QB3, but I think that's an important one for them. 2 years, 7.4 million. I think that's a good one to keep. They're going to try and keep that QB room together. So that's an important one. Released is wide receiver Stephon Diggs. It's going to be interesting what happens with Stephon Diggs. He obviously has got charges against him in Massachusetts. Will that impact on teams wanting to sign him and take the risk? Because, he has a potentially criminal trial ahead of him, even though I do believe there'll be some sort of plea deal taken, potentially, just to avoid going to court. No team's going to sign him until he knows exactly what happened, they know exactly what's happening with that case. But also, Stephon Diggs is innocent unless proven guilty. So, but yeah, we know how the league works. New Orleans Saints, they've not done much. They've been very quiet, actually. But watch this space for them on that one, I think. I also forget the running back. I believe they just rejigged his contract. Alvin Kamara, they've rejigged his contract, I believe. The Giants have released Bobby Okereke, and I don't remember how to say that name properly, but I remember Pat McAfee announcing his name and apparently he was wrong. So Okereke, or I don't remember how to say it. The Jets, Brees Hall has been franchise tagged. They'll try and work out a deal with him. They have to do something with him. But yeah, he will get 14.3 million this year if he goes unsigned. And the Eagles, they've extended Jordan Davis as well. They 3 years, 78 million. Good luck to him. He's been a bit of a beast for them. Basically, the Eagles are essentially Georgia, the University of Georgia. The Dogs, Georgia Bulldogs, their defense is full of them. So Jordan Davis gets his contract. So good luck to him. The Steelers have released Jonnu Smith. They are still waiting to hear if Aaron Rodgers will go back there next season or not. But it's interesting to hear that Aaron Rodgers was saying on the Pat McAfee show that Will Howard, he sees Will Howard as, a starter in this league, essentially. So maybe Mike McCarthy will look at that, because I know a lot of people are asking what they're going to do with a quarterback situation, but I do believe that they may stick with Will Howard. So no matter if Aaron Rodgers comes back, he has to sit for another year. But if he doesn't come back, they may start with him and get a veteran in with him, potentially. San Francisco 49ers, they've extended kicker Eddie Pinheiro, 4 years, 17 million. They need to do something because the kickers are being a bit of a in, one out kind of regime there. But they like what they've seen Eddie Pinheiro, so they stuck with him. And the Super Bowl champions, they have extended Drake Thomas, 2 years, 8 million. Their linebacker there, and watch this space for more action there. The Buccaneers, nothing happening there, but more will come from there. The Titans, they will be shaking and moving, I believe, through free agency. They got quite a bit of money to spend. So there you go. There's that. We got released Xavier Woods and Lloyd Cusbury. They have been released. So they've got, as I say, they've got a lot to remain maybe going there. They will assess a lot and they will spend money. I know they'll spend money. We got another person in the chat. Hello to you, Bex. How are you, my darling? Hope you're doing well. Yes, of course. You see, second chatter in the chat. So you're number 2, Bex. So welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. We then got Washington Commanders. They re-signed Treylon Burks, wide receiver, up to $4 million with incentives, and obviously kicker Jake Moody as well. But they did release Tyler and Marshawn Lattimore. So watch this space for Marshawn, I think. So that is a rough overview. Let me just take that down for a second. And let me bring this back up. I wanted to show, first of all, we spoke about the Cardinals. No, wrong one. We spoke about the Cardinals re-signing. So here we go. So this is an article by Pro Football Rumors. Cardinals revive contracts of running back James Conner and cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting. This needs to be done. I know that James Conner was injured last year for most of last season. I think he played a couple of games and that's it. But he is an important signing for them, especially in that room. So it says, James Conner, his immediate future is no longer questioned. The veteran running back will remain in place for the Cardinals for 2026. Teams and players have agreed to a revised contract. Conner is on the books for 1 more year, and he was originally scheduled to carry a cap charge of $9.83 million while earning a base salary of $6.39 million. one or both figures will presumably be lowered as a result of today's move. So there you go. He is 31, so he's probably only got 1 or 2 years left. Or he was limited to just 3 games. I thought it was a couple, but 3 games due to an ankle injury. So we'll see if he, you know, will make it back. There were questions, as they say here, that he could have been released as well from there. But he's signed, so there you go. And we got quarterback Sean Murphy-Bunting has also worked out restructured contract per Pelissero's colleague Mike Garafolo. So he's been signed back. He was due 7.5 million next year prior to his revision. A pay cut could also be in store in this case. Something which would lower his cap hit to its scheduled 9.25 million figure. So yeah, he was someone that they did eye up to be released as well. So there you go. I like to see new contracts coming in. It's always good. Right, so here we go. Let me share this as well. These are the trackers for free agency. This will be full tomorrow. This will be full. We know that because it's going to be hectic. So I've done, if you haven't seen them, go and take a look at my videos, my shorts and everything. You will see a lot of videos there. But before we do that, remember to like and subscribe. So, Malik Willis, he is the top name in this draft, I think. Obviously, I have him down the Dolphins or the Cardinals, which I lean towards he will end up with the Dolphins. Aaron Rodgers, we discussed him. Daniel Jones, we'll see. Kyler Murray, as we said, Vikings probably. Russell Wilson, now, should he retire? I don't think he wants to retire quite yet, but he's not a starting quarterback in this league, in my opinion. So I don't know where he's going to end up. Marcus Mariota, I believe he'll probably go to somewhere like Washington again. Geno Smith, as we spoke about, the Jets are very interested in Geno. Tyler Huntley has signed with the Baltimore Ravens 2-year contract, 17 million yesterday. Kenny Pickett, there'll be a market for Kenny Pickett, but where, I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo, I have him going to the Arizona Cardinals. Again, I've made plenty of videos on this, so you can take a look at that. Gardner Minshew recently got married, so good luck to him and his new wife. But again, him, don't know. Sam Howell, we've not heard anything on any of these things. So it is quite tough to know where they're all going to go. So let me have a look here. I did see Tom Pelissero did put something out there today. He put something out there. The Chargers, no. Okay, no, it's not that one. He did say something today, but I think it was. I can't find it right now. I just saw it very quickly. I'll see if I can find it this way then. Oh, hang on. Before I go any further, let's see a Dave Portnoy sighting here. Hang on. Love him or hate him. We were just talking about the Bengals. Apparently, Joe Burrow sighting, him and Jessica Alba playing late night blackjack together. This is March, he says. So yeah, you can see that is Joe Burrow and Jessica Alba. So you see, we get entertainment news here as well, not just football news. Let me take a quick look here, see if I can find where it was. Nothing there. Arizona Cardinals also have just signed their punter, Blake Gillikin. Let me put it up on here. So according to Mike Garafolo, first the kicker, now the punter for the Arizona Cardinals. Blake Gillikin has agreed to a 1-year deal worth up to $2.6 million per his agent. So there you go. He missed 12 games with a back injury last season, but is healthy now, and Arizona moved to retain him. So the kicker must have also been. I've not seen that news yet. They re-signed Chad Ryland. Is returning on a 1-year deal. Okay, I've just seen that. So there you go. Thank you, Mike Garafolo. Ray seemed to say $8 million on Kamara. Kamara has restructured his contract. Dabo Sweeney. Try to find. Oh, here we go. So this is interesting. Jermaine. He's going to be interesting this offseason. He is the right tackle for the New York Giants. He's actually born in the country next to me, London, England. That's where he was born. And he's been, I believe he's a free agent. He's actually a very, very good right tackle, and he's about 32 years old. If the Giants don't re-sign him, I think they're foolish, because they need him. So I don't know where he's going to end up, but he's a very good, probably got another couple of years left in him. He'd be a good signing for a team, in my opinion. I can't find it. I'm sure it was Palcero that did it, but so they say Rams not desperate to find Matthew Stafford's eventual successor quarterback. I think it might be Anthony Richardson. Because they don't have. He's just too talented not to have another opportunity. So I think that it'd be a good place for him to go and sit for a year. Reportedly, Tom Brady wouldn't have traded Max Crosby to the Patriots, quote Pro Football Talk, if true, should demolish his statue. And here is congratulations to Jordan Davis. How happy is he there? Happy days. You'd like to see some players get paid. Happy days. Here we go. This is what it was. Veteran QB Joe Flacco, who will be a free agent Monday, wants an opportunity to at least compete for a starting job. But if he's a backup, sources say Flacco would strongly consider a return to Cincinnati, where he filled in for Joe Burrow last fall and made his first Pro Bowl. I think he either stays in Cincinnati, because I think he likes it there, or he goes to the Falcons, because they may be looking for a quarterback for the first few games of the season. And he knows Stefanski well, obviously. So that might be. Watch this space with him. It's either going to be, I think, Cincinnati or the Falcons, is what's going to happen, in my opinion, anyway. Unless someone like the Jets want to give him a flyer. But no, I think it's more likely to be the Falcons or the Bengals. And we're back here, so that's some of the moves. As I say, over the next few days, they're going to start filling in there. And then the surprise move of the season, of the off-season, so far, Kenneth Walker III. Can't believe the Super Bowl MVP was not re-signed. So that's a little bit of a shocker. I think that if the Seahawks let him leave, I think there'll be a little bit of uproar on that. But he is going to be a very wanted man. Some people see him going to someone like the Broncos, maybe, because they are in a bit of a win-now situation. I think that would be actually very sensible for them to try and sign him. But I don't know. Breece Hall, obviously, we've seen that he has his contract all signed up for another year as he was tagged. But will he get a new contract or not? Who knows? We then, as I say, Travis Etienne Jr. I don't know. If he doesn't stay with the Jaguars, I think he might want too much money. If he doesn't stay there, I mean, you can see him going to Nashville, to the Titans. You can see him even going to, as I said, the Chiefs. I think he goes to one of those cities. I think he's a tough runner, but I think he needs either a dome or I don't know. I just don't know. I've always thought he'd be a Panther. Um, but some people do think he might end up with the Chiefs. I can also, as I say, see him end up in somewhere like the Tennessee Titans. Rico Dowdle, I know he did great last year with the Panthers, but he ended the season. He wasn't very happy. Didn't have many carries to end the season, so he wasn't that happy. So I can see him potentially moving on, even though I think the Panthers is a good fit for him. Tyler Javonte Williams re-signed for the Cowboys. That was an early one. He took a deal. I don't blame him. Good luck to Javonte. Yeah, he deserves all the luck there. 3 years, 24 million. Then we got Najee Harris, was injured last year. I don't know where he's going to be. Is he fully fit? Again, he's working back and he seems to be getting back into fitness. So I'm not sure where he will end up, but he'll probably be a running back 2, running back 3 next season somewhere. He's still got some added value somewhere, I'm sure. Same with J.K. Dobbins. And, a lot of these, I think Brian Robinson will probably back in Washington. Isaiah Pacheco, again, I don't know. Would the Chiefs want him back? Why not? Obviously, Joe Mixon, I don't know where he's going to be. Kareem Hunt is an interesting one. Same with Nick Chubb. He's also an interesting one. He's still got some gas left in those legs, I believe, as well. And wide receiver market, unbelievable. We discussed this so many times. George Pickens obviously been tagged, which means that Alec Pierce is seen as the number 1 available wide receiver, which is shocking to me. They talk about paying him 27 plus, 30 plus million a year. I know there's some teams like the Patriots and some others that, like the Raiders, have people are placing him with the Raiders because they see him as a good fit for Fernando Mendoza, good fit for Drake May. I just don't know. I think he's a very, very good wide receiver, but I just don't see him as a wide receiver 1. I just think teams are going to overpay for him. And you know what? Good luck to him. And if he ends up with the Patriots, brilliant. I mean, great. And maybe that's why they get rid of Stefan Diggs. I don't know, but we'll just have to see with that one. I just same with when Christian Kirk left the Cardinals to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They overpaid for him, and that didn't really work out. And I think the same will be true with Alec Pierce. Stefan Diggs, we know, depends on what happens with his criminal case. Mike Evans, I hope he stays in Tampa because of his legacy. Tyreek Hill, if he's back fully healthy, you can maybe see him back with the Chiefs. Deebo Samuel, I mean, what Deebo Samuel are getting? The 49ers Deebo Samuel, everybody will want to sign him. But the Washington Deebo Samuel, someone's going to sign him, but he's a Deebo Samuel of old. Juwan Jennings, I mean, I'm not going to go through all these. These are some of the names here. You can see this could be a big market. Look at all those names. This could be a huge market there. Tight end as well. Kyle Pitts has been franchise tagged, sensible. Dallas Goddard. Travis Kelce to be re-signed, obviously. Isaiah Likely is being touted to go to the Patriots, potentially. David Njoku, retirement is an option, but I can see him giving a couple more years. And there's a lot of names here. Austin Hooper's obviously left. Well, he's not been re-signed by the Patriots. So I would think that Isaiah Likely would be a good fit for the Patriots there. But also I can see the Patriots picking tight end at 31 as well, because there's a few good tight ends in the market, but I think they will lean more towards a guard in the first couple of rounds to go next to Will Campbell, ready for next season. So again, watch that space. Tackle, this could be an interesting market. I just spoke to you about Jermaine Eluemunor from the Giants. I think he'll be a starting tackle, right tackle somewhere. Taylor Decker the same. Rashid Waller. I mean, there's big markets here. Trent Brown has been re-signed. Jack Conklin, Jonah Williams. I mean, there's big names here. I mean, Jonah Williams is a bit of a disappointment. Coming around from Alabama, he was seen as a huge thing. I think he was pick 11 for the Bengals. Hasn't really performed. He was with the Cardinals. I still think he's a solid guard, and he could be an option for someone like the Patriots, in my opinion. So yeah, and then you got obviously more guards there. If Elijah Veritek can stay injury free, then he's going to be a hell of a signing for somebody. Joe Bitonio, I mean, he's been so loyal to the Cleveland Browns. I just can't see him playing anywhere else. But yeah, I don't know. But I think teams will be interested in him. I think he's at the end of his career right now. Wyatt Teller, I think, will have more interest, though. I think a lot more teams will be interested in Wyatt Teller. Again, there's going to be markets for all these players. How disappointing has Tevin Jenkins been? He's not been what he's built out to be. And Austin Corbett, until he got injured with the Panthers, I mean, he won a Super Bowl with the Rams, and he got injured after having a great season with the Panthers. Got signed, got good money, and then got injured. So I'm not sure where he's going to end up. After injuries, you just don't know how people end up. How are they going to make a comeback? Or Zion Johnson's actually a free agent. I did not know that. So that makes more sense then. That not sure if he, I don't know what's going to happen with him then. Okay. Obviously, Mika Becton has also been released from the Chargers. Okay. So some big names here. Tyler Linderbaum, as I say, I can't see him re-signing with the Ravens purely because of the moves they've just made, and I think they could be paying Lamar. How can they afford all these players? I don't know. And we spoke about McGovern and stuff like that. Lloyd Cushbury, he will have a market as well. We need good centers, so edge rushers Trey Hendrickson, he commands a lot of money, I think. So watch his space again. Some people spoke about him going to the Titans. That could be an option. But I like Jalen Phillips. I think there's a good market for him. That he's still young, and he is a player to watch out for. I think some top teams will be in for him. So good luck to him. Obviously, Khalil Mack's been re-signed. It'd be funny if Joey Bosa goes back to the Chargers. I don't see it happening, but yeah, he's at the tail end of his career now, so he's going to be very careful where he goes. If you remember, I remember Kwity Paye being drafted by the Colts, but he's not turned out to be anywhere near where he was projected. I think that was not a bad pick, but he wasn't what they thought he would be by the end. So he's not going back to the Colts unless it's for a lesser deal, I don't think. Then Von Miller thinks that he's going to continue, I believe, into next season. So watch this space with him. Bradley Chubb, who knows? Kyle Van Noy, he's still going. Kyle Van Noy, he'll sign somewhere. He's still got juice in those legs. And AJ Epinesa, I'm surprised if the Bills let him go, but they have bolstered the defense over recent years, so maybe they will let him go. And again, you just got look at Calais Campbell. I would love to see Campbell back with the Cardinals again. What's he going for? He's been there for so many years. He's played in the NFL for so many years now. And Christian Wilkins is going to be an interesting one this year. Obviously, he left the Raiders. He was released last year in the contract. There's a dispute for that. And there's a lot of rumblings that he wasn't very popular in the locker room. So I don't know. Dave says I would love Trey in Chicago, but might see Phillips instead. Yeah, I would love Phillips for you guys. Trey, I think, is too expensive for you, Dave. I think he will command too much. I think Jalen Phillips for Chicago would be a great move. Christian Wilkins is a hell of a player, but his mentality and everything, I don't know who's going to take a flyer on him. I don't know. Obviously, Devin Bush, Devin Lloyd, great player. Devin Bush, he was a great player. He had a good season last season. Kobe Dean, yeah, he's going to be on the market. And I think he's fully fit now. Bobby Wagner, some good names to say. Tremaine Edmonds, I think that, watch his space. He still got it. I like Anzalone, Alex Anzalone. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. I like him a lot, but he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Bobby Okereke, which we said earlier on. Quincy Williams, I really like Quincy Williams as well with the New York Jets. I'm glad. I hope he doesn't go back there. I hope he goes with his brother to the Cowboys. I'd like to see them reunite. I thought they were a good team together. Quay Walker does not want to re-sign with the Green Bay Packers. They don't pay him enough, hence why they traded for. They made a trade with the Colts. I forget his name now. And obviously Shaq Thompson as well. The quarterback, the draft. I think there's about 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks in the draft who I've got high ceilings. So there you go, Dave. Dave agrees. So we'll see with these. Asante Samuel Jr., Trevon Diggs. For me, I've never liked Trevon Diggs. I know that people said that he had all these interceptions. He was great, but I don't know. He's not one of my favorite players. Eric Stokes there. Obviously, you got Darius Slay. I'm surprised. Didn't Darius Slay get traded to the Bills and then said he was retiring? So, Shaquille Griffin, again, at one point he was amazing. Davis White, Greg Newsome the second. There are some good cornerbacks here in free agency. So Kevin Byard. So Cameron Curl has re-signed with the Rams. Jabril Peppers there. I'm not going to lie and say that I know all these players because I don't. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Jonathan Owens, obviously. He'll be an interesting one to look at. Again, a solid one, I think. Because you need to pad the teams out, don't you? Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, there's a lot of teams out there, a lot of interest, a lot of with teams and different players. So I am always intrigued to see what will happen. Let's see if there's anything else that comes out. Oh, here we go. Let me just do a change here. Another kicker who has just been re-signed. The Colts have agreed to terms on a 1-year deal worth up to $1.4 million with Blake Grupp. I'm surprised that $1.4 million is not very much. I'm surprised. I thought he would go for higher. Wow, I'm quite surprised at that. I thought he would be, but maybe he's just like, you know what, I'm getting an opportunity, so why not? It's a 1-year deal. He's probably fully guaranteed with 1.4 million. So good luck to him. And that's it. I believe. I don't think there's anything else out there. So yeah, that's where we're at. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow from 12 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock UK time. I will be covering it. Probably just watching Twitter and updating that way. You know, we all know Adam Schefter, Rappaport, and all them, Polacero, and everyone will be on it. Especially, I think the first couple of hours tomorrow could be chaotic. I think so. I'll have Twitter open, and we'll, keep an eye on everything through that. I'm just very intrigued with the QB market, and I also think that the next 3 days are super important in order to see what happens in the draft. I think it dictates exactly what happens in people's drafts. I think everyone's doing mock drafts at the minute, and the next 3 days are probably going to change everything, in everyone's mock draft. Because who would have thought as well the trades have already happened? Are there more trades that are going to happen overnight? Are there more teams going to re-sign their players overnight before free agency? I know Alec Pierce, he's also an intriguing one. Again, I'm very down on him. I don't mean to be down on him because he's a really good player. He is, but he's not a 30 million a year player, in my opinion. And I think that's what he wants. That's what he wants to command. Is around 30 plus million a year. and I don't see it personally. I don't. But in this market, people will overpay, and we'll just have to see. But I also think that there will be, so there are some good wide receivers in the draft. So I don't think that they need to panic. Essentially, I've got some stuff here. Let's have a look here. I'll just do a quick draft here, just to see where. Let's do this. Let's do a pretend draft here. What I'll do is, because Dave is in the chat and he's a Chicago Bears fan, what I'll do is we'll just pick for the Bears. Dave, where's the Bears here? Why can't I see them? Why can't I see them, Dave? Here they are. Pick 25. So we'll just pick this one, and then we'll let everyone else. Let me bring this down just to see what PFF are saying about everybody. So this is what they're saying right now would happen if there was a draft today. So they're going with Fernando Mendoza 1, Arvel Reese 2. Okay, that's pretty standard. Jeremiah Love 3. I think in my first mock draft, I had Jeremiah Love there, but I don't think I would anymore. Ruben Bain 4. Okay, so he's gone back up. Sonny Styles 5. 6. Francis Maikowa. Caleb Downs. David Bailey. Monroe Freeling. I love Monroe Freeling. I fell in love with Monroe Freeling before he was popular. Most people had him as a late day 1, early day 2 player, but I drafted him 22nd to the Chargers in my first mock draft, which is higher than most people. But it seems that he's gone right up the boards now, and if he ends up with the Kansas City Chiefs, that'd be good for him. But he's still, I'm not sure he's a top 10 pick, but yeah, I do like him. Mansour Delane, there you go. That's what I mean. He's a great cornerback. Canel Tate, they do need a wide receiver, to be fair. Spencer Fano. Spencer Fano for me is tackle 3, so makes sense. But I still think that's fairly early for him. Dylan Tieneman, safety, which, to be quite honest, doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't really make sense to me. But he's a really good player, but I don't know. I suppose if all the tackles have gone there, maybe they have to go there, but I'd be surprised if it went for safety there. Kenyon Sadiq obviously did incredible in the draft. I'm not sure I would go with another tight end, purely because they got Bowers and they had the Notre Dame tight end. I forget his name now. He's incredible, although he's not done that well. Since he's been with the Raiders. He's a good pick there, guard. I'd be tempted for, I don't know, we'll see. McKay Lemon as well. I think that's more realistic for the Rams, for them to take McKay Lemon over going for Dylan Chinnaman. Jamont McCoy, Caleb Banks, Jordan Tyson, CJ Allen, Akeem Messidor, Cassius Howell, Keldrick Falk, he's a bit of a sleeper. Avian Terrell, AJ Terrell's brother. I thought he'd go higher. I thought he might go Lions, Vikings. His brother AJ Terrell on pick 16, so it'll be a bit of banter there, I think. So now we're on the clock, Dave. So Dave definitely got to focus on defensive line and edge. Another tackle would be good, with Tripolo from Boston College will miss most of next season. Oh, I did not know that. I agree with you, though, that it needs to be defensive. Blake Miller is available for tackle if you wanted that, Dave. let me make this a little bit smaller because we can't see the players here. There's a trade option, but we're not going to trade. I don't know why they're giving us a trade option, but sure. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, I wouldn't select him there. Blake Miller is a shout, Dave, as you said. Caden McDonald from Ohio State. Let's have a look at him, Dave. He's really quite high. He played 14 games last season, 488 defensive snaps, 2 sacks, 12 hurries, 1 batted down. He seems to be on the way up, trending wise. He's predicted to go to Chicago. He's actually predicted to go to Chicago. Okay. He's 20. He's going to be 20. Well, he's not going to be. No, he's probably going to be 21 by the time the draft comes around. 6'3". Okay. TJ Parker. I'm surprised he's gone so low. 12 games, 6 sacks, 24 hurries. He seems like statistically seems to be ahead. He's a little bit older. They seem to think he might go to Chicago, 18%. Okay. This is an interesting one. Peter Woods is an interesting one because some people, half the league, I believe, have him as a first-round pick and half the league have him as a second-round pick. So he's also got 3 sacks. He had a really bad season last season. He did not have a good season at all. He had a really good season the season before. And his first year, apparently, he had a really good season as well. But last season, he was very poor. From all these, Dave, I would probably lean towards TJ Parker over Caden McDonald. Blake Miller is also there. You know, he let in 2 sacks, 2 hits, 10 hurries. Trends. People got him as high as pick 20 odd for Pittsburgh Steelers, 21st. Okay, that's interesting. So I think they're not looking for. I wouldn't give him a tackle right now, Dave. But I think I would lean towards TJ Parker personally here. There you go. Dave agrees. So we're going to go TJ Parker then. Let's go TJ Parker here. Let's draft him there. Okay, so that's our draft, Dave. So we got TJ Parker there. A- for him there. And the rest of them, there was Emmanuel McNeil-Warren went to the Buffalo Bills. Omar Cooper Jr. goes to Indiana. Caden McDonald goes there. Peter Woods did go there. Okay. 28th, 29th. So that cluster, Blake Miller did go to the Broncos. I don't agree with this. Max in anchor. I wouldn't pick him there with the Patriots. Denzel Boston. So let's do another one. I want to do a one for the Patriots just because we're here, Dave. So let's do a Patriots one. So let's enter the draft. Let's see what they give everybody. Start the draft. So have they changed anything? Average? No, I think they're sticking with everybody as they were. Oh, this time they have gone Makai Lemon to the and Kenyon Sadiq is going to. So hang on, this has changed. Okay, so where's the first tackle there? Dylan Tinnerman, David Bailey. Okay, so they have changed. Oh, they put Carnell Tate to the Browns. Okay, that makes sense. So let's have a look to see where some of these players. This one I agree with. Makai Lemon to the Rams, I agree with. Over they had Dylan Tinnerman there. I don't agree with that one. Monsoon Delaney there. German McCoy. Okay. Cornerback going to the Raiders. CJ Allen. Okay, Caleb Banks. Spencer Fano there. Monroe Freeling falling to the Panthers. Okay, interesting. So I don't think I'd give Spencer Fano to the Lions personally, but there you go. So they went with Blake Miller. Okay, Steve, you did say that they needed a tackle, so they did go with Blake Miller as tackle. So there you go. It was in line with your thought, Dave, to be fair. Peter Woods, Caden Proctor's gone there. Okay, Caden Proctor would be someone I would have looked um, for the Patriots, actually. Let's have a look here to see who's available. Tackle. Oh, that's why. So, okay, that's why they probably went there then. I personally would have probably preferred Pregnan to the. I think I prefer to have him there. He let in 1 sack, 2 hits, 2 hurries last season. The year before, okay. No, I think he had a really good season last season. What about Max? What did he do last season? Sacks 0. Okay. Arizona State. Okay. No, I think I would, for the Patriots, I would lean towards Emmanuel Pregnon. So, personally, anyway, uh, they say a B. Well, go F yourselves, because that's not a B. That's an A. And then Denzel Boston which seems to be quite consistent, wide receiver going to Washington. But it's interesting because all of these will change again once free agency is done. As I say, I was surprised that the Rams got a quarterback in McDuffie, traded all that moolah for him. So we're in for some surprises. I think we can all guess and think where people are going to be in free agency, but we don't actually know. So an interesting one for me is Rodriguez from Texas Tech, actually. So let me take that there. Let's go the Raiders here then, just for the sake of it. So we're starting the draft. I want to. Oh damn! No, hang on. Let me go back. Cancel. Let me go back because I want to see if. Let's do this. Mock draft simulator. I want to see where Rodriguez from Texas Tech ends up. So I want to do this one. I want to do 3 rounds and start. And obviously Mendoza, even though I don't like it. Then here, where do we go here? He still needs protection, still needs wide receivers. Let's go Carnell Tate because he's available. Best player available. Let's go Carnell Tate. I'm only doing this to see where Rodriguez is going to. Ty Simpson they have going to the Arizona Cardinals in the 2nd round. Interesting. So I think he's linebacker. So let's see. Jacob Rodriguez is available. So he's there. Okay, interesting. So I want to see. I'm not going to draft him because I want to see where he ends up. I think if I'm the Raiders here, you have to look at Caden Proctor against Max. So Caden Proctor, 2 sacks, 4 hits, 15 hurries. Obviously, he probably played better opposition than Arizona State. No sacks, 3 hits, 11 hurries. Let's go with Caden Proctor there for the Raiders. So then we're going up here. He goes 48 to the Falcons. That's where he ends up there. Interesting. That's where they have him. Let me finish this off, Dave, and then we'll go through the actual draft again. We're on the clock. What do we need? It doesn't really matter what we go here, but we do need. We need a lot, to be fair. I'm just going to go best player available. I don't actually know what I would pick there. I get overall draft grade A+. Thank you very much. So we went for Fernando Mendoza, Carnell Tate, Caden Proctor, Josiah Trotter. That's not a bad draft, to be fair. Right, let's see what happened here. Oh, they only do the 1st round. They don't show us the rest. Okay. So that one, Dave, they gave you Caden McDonald. So, okay. You're not going to be unhappy with that, are you? So and Peter Woods then to Patriots. I would not be too happy with that. But anyway, there you go. Right. Dave and everybody else that popped in, thank you very much. If you could all do me a favor to remember to like the stream, that would be very beneficial. Dave, I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be live from probably about 11:45 tomorrow for free agency friendly. So I know you'll be back, Dave. So I hope to see you then, my friend. And hopefully we get a few more people here that can talk football. We might get the other Dave here as well to talk about, Green Bay Packers and all that. So, Dave, everybody, thank you. If you're on replay, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Bex for being the first chatters in the chat. I appreciate both. Take care, everybody. Good night.